Joining us all the way from Port Harcourt, and of course, a man that really knows what's really going on right now in Port Harcourt. It's no other person than Laveros Oshoma. Laveros, welcome to TMI. Appreciate you joining us from Port Harcourt.
Thank you. Good morning.
All right, good morning. So tell us now, what is the situation right now in Rivers? Knowing fully well that we have factions, the pro-Fubara and of course the anti-Fubara factions. Please take it up from there.
Get you.
Yeah, I think the situation right now in the Rivers State, what is really happening pertaining the factions in the Rivers State House of Assembly, situation on the ground. About the House of Assembly. Yes, the House of Assembly.
So, if that's the question you are asking, then I will tell you, let's start from section 91. Permit me to read. Section 91 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The provisions of this Constitution, a House of Assembly of the state sits of 3 or 4 times the number of seats which that house has in the House of Representatives, divided in a way to reflect
Assembly of the state shall consist of not less than 24 members and not more than 40 members. That's section 91 of the Constitution. And if you now go to section 109, everybody have been citing section 109, subsection 1, paragraph G, that says a member of the House of Assembly shall vacate his seat if in the House, if being a person whose election to the House of Assembly was sponsored by a political party, he becomes a member of another political party before the expiration of the period of which that House was elected, provided that his membership of the latter party is not as a result of a division in the political party of which he was previously a member, or of a merger or 2 or more political parties or factions by one of which was previously sponsored. Then subsection 2 of that section says, the Speaker of the House of Assembly shall give effect to subsection 1 of this section, so however that the Speaker or a member shall first present evidence satisfactory to the House that any of the provisions of that subsection has become applicable in respect of the member. So I took time to read these sections to you because I have listened to some other lawyers talk about this as if, once this happens, automatically the members will lose their seat. The Constitution subsection 2 of 109 says it is the Speaker that has the power to give effect to subsection 1 of section 109. And then secondly, the question now would be, who is the Speaker as at the time those members defected? Who is the Speaker? In 2014 or so, 2013, 2014, 5 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly, led by Evans BP, Honorable Evans BP, led other 4 members, and attempted to impeach the Speaker, then Speaker of the House, and which move was viewed as an attempt to subsequently impeach the then Governor Amechi. And everybody frowned at that, and it was condemned highly. Today, sometimes last year, 5 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly who attempted to also impeach the existing Speaker, and they were subsequently suspended. And those 5 members went somewhere, said they have met and they have suspended the Speaker, and that they have elected a new Speaker in the person of Edison here. And the people that condemned them as BP started supporting the Edison here. And then we saw courts, giving somersault judgment here and there, one judgment here, another order there, all ex parte orders and the rest. And one would have expected that the question would be, can 5 in a house of 32 validly suspend a speaker? I leave that to our viewers to answer. And then the next question would be that if 5 cannot validly suspend a speaker or impeach a speaker, then can we say Edison Ehie was actually a speaker for the purpose of declaring the seat of 27 lawmakers vacant? I also leave that to our listeners to answer. And while that was going on, the president attempted to find a political solution to the crisis. And the fanners of embers of war, the drummers of war, said that provision had no place in the Constitution, even though there was it wasn't stated anywhere that a gun was put in the governor's head to sign the process. The House of Assembly was just like that of Edo State, was subsequently bombed and demolished, and then a political solution was reached. But both parties, both the Wike faction and the governor's faction, consistently breached that agreement. And today, we are in a state where we've turned the entire River State to a laughing stock, where today now you have 4 members who are claiming, contrary to the provisions of Section 91 of the Constitution, who are claiming to be valid members of the River State House of Assembly, and among the 4 members they have elected a speaker. If care is not taken, where we are going to someday, one person who is probably supporting a governor will come up and say that he's now a speaker, even though he has no other person with him. That's the crisis we are gradually, digging for ourselves. And my advice, really, consistently in all areas I've intervened on this matter, had been to the leaders of thought, traditional rulers, religious leaders in River State, to call both warring parties to order. Wike, as a governor, for example, would not take what he's doing to a sitting governor, from anybody. He would allow anybody to breathe down his neck. He knows how he fought with Amechi. Becoming a governor was like an emperor. And so, now using members of the State House of Assembly and everybody he bought funds for, like he has said, to threaten a sitting governor, for me, will amount to anarchy. And the governor also attempting to pull off political structures completely from Wike, also is causing trouble. So I think there should be a middle ground. And the first middle ground for me should be that matters such as this, being a constitutional matter, should go straight to the Supreme Court for interpretation. And not a situation where you see high courts making a mockery of the law. This gives a different interpretation today, depending on the side of the law depending on the side of the divide that is leaning, and then another one gives a different interpretation tomorrow. And like Karabi Esho once said, once there's accusation against a judge, there are senior advocates who are conveyor belt in all of this, and we are all completely digging and making a mockery of our legal system.
Now, all right, now as it stands right now, from your own analysis or perspective, who is now the speaker? Because you left 2 questions for our viewers to ponder about. From all you've said, I
can tell you that why I gave you those very basic scenarios, because it is obvious that there are not 2 speakers in River State. What's his name? The speaker that's leading the 27 members, legally speaking, is the Speaker of the State House of Assembly. Because if people had said their seats are vacant, the question is, who declares the seat vacant? Is it 5-person speaker or 3-person speaker, or a speaker led or that was appointed by the entire House as at the time it was appointed? The speaker, Amehule, yes, that's his name.
Yeah.
Is the current speaker of the River State House of Assembly. All of this, if it's not the speaker, why is the governor hell-bent on demolishing why did the governor demolish the House of Assembly complex? Or why is he hell-bent on demolishing the House Assembly quarters if he's not the speaker? So they know that legally speaking, Amehule is the current speaker of the River State House of Assembly.
But still,
what they have now is I blame the media for for addressing what this man's name, this, I call him, what do you call it? I'm addressing, is it Victor now, that proclaimed himself Speaker of 4 members. I blame the media for addressing him as a factional speaker.
No, hold on. Labaros, hold on. The governor took these members to court, prohibiting them. Okay, Liberos, thank you, Liberos. Prohibiting them from parading themselves as a member of Rivers State House of Assembly due to the fact that they defected. Is it not there in the Constitution?
It is not the governor's responsibility. I just told you, the constitution I read to you, are you talking about another constitution? I read subsection 2 of section 109 to you, that it is the speaker that can declare seats vacant. You remember when Tambuwa defected on the floor of the House of Rep?
Yeah.
It is within his powers to declare the seats of members vacant, provided there is enough unsubstantiated evidence before he takes that step. It is not because subsection 109 paragraph, subsection 1 of section 109 gave a proviso, provided this defection is not as a result of the crisis, and that crisis had been addressed as by the Supreme Court as crisis in the national party, in the national body of the party, not at the state level. So all of these are evidence, all of these are facts that must be presented. So if the question is, why do you think that the governor is hell-bent on producing a speaker, even if it's a speaker for 2 members of the House? Why do you think that Wike's faction also is hell-bent on retaining those 27 members together? It is because that as it is, what is happening here, just like what you have in Kaduna State House of Assembly in 1979, when the PROP controlled the executive and the MPN controlled the House of Assembly.
Yeah.
That was why Balarabe Musa was the first governor to be impeached. So in this case, the Fubara controls the executive, even though most members of the executive were members from Wike's faction.
All right.
While Wike comfortably controls the House of Assembly. So what they have is a stalemate, and the law, the court shouldn't be making a mockery of this thing. And that's why, for me, the solution out of this, so that a state of emergency will not be declared distance time. Because as it is, it will be almost impracticable for the State House of Assembly to sit with the way things are going. Because by virtue of section 91 that I read to you, that 4 members, the mockery that we made in those states cannot be repeated in Rivers. 4 members cannot become members of a State House of Assembly. It is a practical impossibility by virtue of section 91. In Edo, it was a mockery of the Constitution. And the court allowed it because the court just folded their hands and wanted to pander to the whims and caprices of the executive. It shouldn't also happen in Rivers State, because otherwise, the precedent we set in Edo was 9 members, 8 members, or 7 members. Today, they've already reduced it to 4. Who knows? Very soon, it can be 1. So, things are going deep. Exactly. And things are going, the National Assembly might take over the responsibility of legislating for the State House of Assembly.
Thank you.
And then we'll be complaining again.
Thank you so much, Oshoma. Thank you so much. Because right now we'll press for time. Well, you've heard him. Something needs to be done about this quickly so that the state of emergency will not be declared in Rivers State. Once more, Oshoma, I appreciate a wonderful analysis going by the Constitution on how to really resolve this crisis. I hope and I pray that Fubara and, of course, Wike can just settle this rift. Once more, appreciate you, Oshoma. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
All right.